Hey everyone! So today we're going to do a small little routine that's going to help if you have back pain. So as parents, as moms, back pain often happens from slouching. So if we're postpartum, feeding the baby, or even if we're pregnant, all the weight from the womb and not being able to move in the way that you're used to can really contribute to back pain. So this is something that is needed so that we're not going, oh, we're just old, or that's just motherhood, or this is just my life now. All right, so what you're gonna need today is blocks if you have them. And if you don't, just a couple of firm pillows. And if you have a hard floor like me, maybe a mat so your knees can have a bit of a cushioning, because we're going to stay down. We're not going to do anything standing up today. All right, so with that, come to a comfortable seated position, whatever is comfortable for you. It doesn't have to be crisscross applesauce. It could be anything that's comfortable. And then you're just going to gently close your eyes, and we're going to take a few deep breaths together. So you're going to inhale through your nose and exhale with a sigh. Inhale and sigh. Once more, inhale and sigh. On your next inhale, you're going to gently open your eyes and you're going to come into a table position. So we're going to start off with our cat-cow poses. So these are really great for the back, and also bonus, great for the pelvic floor. So on your inhale, you're going to bring your chest forward and through, and your tailbone up towards the sky. On your exhale, you're going to curl in towards your belly button and tailbone down. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, curl in. Inhale. And exhale. Doing this 3 more times on your own breath, going as quickly or as slowly as you like. Or if you find a spot that feels good, you could stay there for a breath. When you finish your 3rd exhalation, meet me back at a neutral table position. From here, we're going to come into a twist. So you're going to bring your right arm underneath your left. I'm just going to move my mic so it doesn't hit into my arm. And you're going to lay your head down on the floor. Once you're down here, you're going to think of popping your booty back. And you're going to think of trying to find as much length as you can from your right armpit to your tailbone. On your next inhale, come back to center. We're going to switch sides. So bringing your left arm underneath and your head down, pop your booty back. Then you're going to try to find as much length from your head to your tailbone as possible. Keep trying to find a deep breath here. Next inhale, come back to center. And you're going to make your way into a child's pose. So for this first child's pose, you're going to have your knees wider than your hips and your toes together. You're going to sit your bum back towards your heels and let your head rest down on the floor. we're going to come into a little tricep and shoulder stretch. So you're going to wiggle your fingers further away from you, so you're getting a bit more of an arm stretch. You're going to bring your hands into a prayer position. You're going to bend your elbows so your fingertips start coming up towards the sky. Have your head down on your mat and let your hands come towards the base of your neck. Just notice for yourself if this is a deep stretch or a mild stretch. On your next exhale, release your hands back down. And we're going to come into a puppy pose. So you're going to come back into a neutral table position. You're going to reposition your knees so they're underneath your hips. And you're going to have your toes tucked under. So this is kind of like a hybrid between a child's pose and a downward dog. So you're going to begin to bring your hips back and you're going to walk your hands further forward and let your head come down. So it differs from a child's pose because your bum's not all the way down and it's a little bit more active. If you need to, walk your fingers even further away from you. And we're possibly going to deepen this, so just notice to yourself how this felt. If you feel like you can go further, you're going to walk your hands a little further forward, and you're going to bring your chest all the way down onto the mat. Sorry if I'm squishing my mic here. I'll see if I can readjust so it doesn't make a weird sound. Excellent. So now you're going to make your way back up into a neutral table position, and we're going to come all the way down for some back strengthening now. So you're going to come down and we're going to start with just a simple back bend to strengthen the back. So you're going to bring your forearms parallel, so making sure your elbows are right underneath your shoulders and your wrists are in line with your elbows. So forearms are parallel. You're going to point your feet and you're going to press the tops of your feet down so strongly that your kneecaps lift. You're going to push your pelvis down. So this is like our cat pose that naturally engages the pelvic floor and the lower abdomen. So you're going to keep that work going. You're going to have a nice grip on the floor and you're going to pull the floor towards you. Doing that helps to bring your chest forward and your shoulder blades together, and it starts to activate your lats in your back. Then from here, you're going to lengthen the crown of your head towards the sky. Just 2 more breaths. Now we're going to up the strengthening a bit. So you're going to come all the way down. You're going to interlace your fingers behind your back. Keep the tops of your feet pressing down so strongly that your kneecaps lift. Push that pelvis down, engaging the pelvic floor and the lower abs. Bring your shoulders up and back like you're trying to pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades. Then you're going to keep your feet glued to the floor. You're going to begin to lift your hands away from you any amount and lift your chest. Try not to crank your neck here. So just look maybe about a foot or 2 ahead of you on the floor. Just one more breath. When you finish your exhale, release your hands and rest your head down and take 3 deep breaths. When you finish your breaths, we'll come into one last strengthener here. So it's going to be similar, but our hands are going to be hovering underneath our shoulders. So start with your feet, point them, press them down, kneecaps lift, push your pelvis down. Then your hands are going to be right underneath your shoulders, but hovering. You're going to try to imagine like someone has tied your elbows behind your back. Try not to crank your neck here. So looking like a foot or 2 ahead of you on the floor. Then on your next inhale, lift your chest as high as you can. So it might feel harder than the last one, and that's totally okay. Just find your breath. One more breath. On your exhale, come all the way down, rest your head, and find your deep breath. On your next inhale, make your way up into your table pose. Then we're going to come into a counter pose to all that called rabbit pose. So it's similar to a child's pose, but there's more rounding going on. So you're going to bring your knees to touch and your feet to touch. You're going to come down into a child's pose. Your hands can be wherever they are to start, and just breathe. You are welcome to stay right here, or to deepen your rabbit pose, you're going to grab onto your heels and you're going to bring your head onto the mat and you're going to lift your butt. So here, try to think of your cat pose from before, really rounding through your back. One more breath. On your exhale, come all the way down. Rest your arms however you want for a couple of breaths. Now we're going to come into a supported back bend, which I call everyone's favorite pose. So if you have the blocks, this is where they come in handy. If you don't have blocks, then 2 firm pillows. So the reason you need 2 is one is going to act like a pillow for your head, and the other one is going to be along your back. So if you have a block, you have different height options. The lowest one is going to be the easiest, middle is going to be intermediate, and high is going to be advanced. So totally depends on how your back is feeling today. I'm gonna go with intermediate. And the pillow block can be any height. It doesn't matter, whatever is comfy for you. So you're going to sit facing away from your blocks or your pillow. You're gonna have it pretty close to your bum. Make sure if it's a block, it's coming right along your spine. And then you're going to lay your head back into your pillow block. Take a moment to get settled so you feel comfy. Then once you are settled, let your hands be in any position that feels comfortable for you. So it could be right beside you, out into a T, or up and over your head. That's the option I'm going to choose today. And notice if you are kind of like resisting the blocks. If so, on each exhale you take, imagine yourself melting into the blocks. If you like, you can close your eyes. We're gonna stay here for a little while, so maybe like 10 to 15 breaths. So really try to relax into the block. Notice if your bum is clenching. Try to let it relax completely. Notice if your core is engaging. Try to relax it. Let your ribs really splay apart here. It's not a cue you often hear, but in this pose, just let it happen so gravity can take you. Notice if you're kind of holding your head and your neck is not relaxed. Try to let that go. Recheck in from your butt to your ribs to your neck. Notice if anything is trying to resist once again, and try to let it go and let it relax. Let's take 5 more breaths, relaxing as much as you can into the blocks. And when you finish your breaths, you're going to roll onto your side, whatever side you want. I'm going to roll onto my left because my wall is right here. So you're literally just rolling off of your blocks and into a little semi-fetal position, just resting for a couple of breaths. And move your blocks or your pillows from behind you and come to lie on your back, hugging your knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice big squeeze. And we're going to come into a floor twist. So you're going to open your arms out into a T or cactus pose. I like to do cactus, especially because I have this wall here. And you're going to let your knees come over towards the right. So you may need to shimmy yourself a little bit. I know I need to. And you're going to keep your left shoulder on the floor or the mat. And you're going to look over towards your left. And you could stay right here, or if you'd like a deeper twist, you can cross your left leg over your right. If it doesn't feel quite right, you can wiggle around a little bit. I usually like to, especially on this side, wiggle my right shoulder a little bit more towards the right. Really try to stick your butt out here so you get a lot of space between your SI joint area. I always get a lot of pops and cracks out when I do this because I'm really uneven because I hold my baby on my right hip all the time. So let me know in the comments if you can relate to that. Next inhale, come back to center. Now we're going to switch sides, letting your knees fall over towards the left. This time keep your right shoulder on the floor, look over towards your right, and if you'd like a deeper twist, cross your right leg over your left. And for me here on this side, I like to wiggle my left shoulder a bit more towards the left.
Next inhale, come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. And you're just going to rock from side to side or make circles with your knees. If you choose circles, go in both directions to stay even. And whenever you're finished with that, take your time to make your way back up to a seated position, whatever's comfortable for you. And once you get there, gently close your eyes and bring your hands to heart center. Take this time to thank yourself for doing a really nice little short routine for your back. Know that your back deserves it because you have been putting a lot on those shoulders. And I thank you for sharing your practice with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care. Namaste.